Good morning, Turfs Up Radio. Wayne Vose, Profits Unlimited, coming to you live from Louisville, Kentucky.
Yes, indeedy.
Oh, my goodness. We got a great show planned for you guys today. We got a great day going on here in Louisville and just a great day. Just a great day overall. So, hope you guys are off to a good start. Hope everybody showed up for work. Hope everything's going good for you. And hope you had a good weekend. We're going to talk a little bit about that too. But got a good show planned today. We're going to be bouncing around a little bit today. We're going to talk a little bit about a lot of things. But hey, you know what? That's generally how it goes here, right? That's generally how we go. We have the best laid plans of mice and men, and then all of a sudden we get off on another tangent. But hey, that's okay. That's okay. Nothing. Oh, yay. So, yeah. So, we, the watch is like, conditions are favorable, but okay. Yay. So, Jeopardy. Yeah. So Katie just gave me a note, Jeopardy. We were just talking about her, and, got some good news for her. So we'll talk about that too. Not what you expect, but it's good news. Good news. So, but good morning, Seth. Appreciate you listening, my friend. We're going to have a good day, man. You know what? We beat a lot of people. God gave us the opportunity to wake up today. So with that being said, it's up to us to make it a good day, right? We can find a lot of reasons to make it a messed up day, but the reality of it is, hey, let's turn it into a good day and see what happens, and we'll go from there with it. Very fortunate here at WLS and Profits Unlimited, and all of us individually, for real here. Yeah, I'm just going to go with that. There's always things you can look at and say, "Oh God," and look things, but the reality of it is, yeah, true that, Seth. We're looking down on grass, man. I mean, that's just it. You know, we it certainly beats the alternative. I got a really good friend of mine, Charlie Hardesty, that used to say that all the time. He'd say, "How you doing, Charlie?" And he said, "Well, we're looking down on grass." So that is the truth. That is the truth. So I had a weird thing happen. I don't know. Yeah. Let's go. Nah. I, I'm talking to myself, but that's okay. We'll talk about that here in just a second. I've talked myself out of getting into that. But hey, I wanted to first of all find out what you guys did fun on the weekend. And if you did anything fun, surely you had some type of good thing happen to you over the weekend. But Friday, we had our full day. We had a full day here Friday. Katie and I and Kyle, Daniel, production was gone about 1:30. But yeah, we had a big day. We've had a lot of phone calls lately. We were talking about the phone not ringing and things like that. So we stepped into old school flyers, and that helped out with some phone calls. And about that time of the year, things are switching around and getting quite a few leads. We're going to talk about that as well. A lot of different services, or several different services, but several just on the immediate need stuff, which is nice. It's nice to get the leads on the other things. So we'll talk a little bit about that too. See how man, it just goes. It just keeps going and going. It's like the Energizer Bunny, realistically. But yes, indeed, he had a good weekend. Friday, just kind of chilled. I don't remember. I'm getting old, I guess. I don't remember what I did Friday. Oh, I know what I did. Katie's over there shaking her head. Just yeah. First of all, I need some Prevagen. Maybe I'll get some Prevagen next time I get out and get over by Walgreens or CVS or something. Pick up a little Prevagen. All joking aside, I have talked about that, but let's see. I did have a good weekend though, for real. Mike says he he bought some inline roller hockey skates Saturday. They've got a new indoor roller hockey facility in Bowling Green. That's pretty cool. So Katie says, but have you ever been to Robin's Roost? It's one that's like 687 years old here in Louisville. But he said he also saw this post over the weekend. It's a long post, so warning. So I'll have to take a look at that, Mike. Thanks for sending that my way. So, um, but no, Friday just didn't really do a whole lot. Just kind of chilled out at the house. Um, I want to say actually refrigerate ate. We call it refrigerator eating. Tab's not listening to me. They had a meeting this morning, so I'll talk about her. But she calls it refrigerator eating. But that's when you're eating leftovers out of the fridge. So we did that Friday, and just kind of. I think I'm pretty sure that's what happened Friday. And but no, we stayed and watched U of L had a football game on TV, and my high school team that I like, Trinity Shamrocks, they went up to Cincinnati to play a powerhouse in Ohio, Moeller, and they got beat. Trinity got beat. Oh no, it wasn't too bad though. This Moeller's got a pretty daggone good team, and actually the spread was like 41. Suppose was 41-14, and we only ended up losing by a touchdown. So or three. So uh, could have been better. We missed a field goal, so we'll see what happens with that. So evidently we did better than what we were supposed to do. So that's why you never know. You never know till you play the game. It's like your business. That's the reality of it. you know, it's like your business. So we're going to talk a little bit about a lot of things business related today. But Saturday I went to volleyball went to two of my granddaughter's volleyball games. You just can't do them all because they're normally got one of them back to back somewhere and they're different spots. But we made two of them. That was cool. And then went out and did a little furniture shopping with Katie. Katie's looking for some furniture. So, and then kind of came back home, chilled out. Daniel and Caitlin came over for a little grill out. Wanted to have them over before they took off. And Daniel's getting ready for his big old trip. Golly. Daniel, you want a set of headphones? Yeah, we get Daniel a set of headphones. We're going to get him to talk to us a little bit about the business aspect of his trip or the fun aspect of his trip and all the above, man, for real. But he's getting ready for a big trip. He's going to be leaving Friday and on a well-deserved 32-day vacation. And no, not really. He's going to be gone, a couple of weeks. So they're going to have a good time over there. Looking forward to them having a good time over. He's going to Paris and Europe and all around over there. So that's going to be a pretty fun time for him, I'm sure. So, yeah, you looking forward to that, Daniel?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
definitely
absolutely.
looking forward to it. It is a 13 or 14 days.
Yeah,
It's definitely the longest trip I've ever had. So
yeah, that'd be a while.
yeah, it's
Say that in a hurry. Said 5 times. A while, way a while.
like something from Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, true that. So
I, I'll tell you all about the business side of the tourism industry.
yeah, I bet
Gosh,
you kid, man. You've put a lot of time and effort into the planning of this, and uh, just I bet it is a big thing to plan like 14 days. His friend's going to get married. His best friend's going over there to get married. It's how it all originated.
yeah, yeah. We
And
were kind of talking about wanting to do it for a while, and then when he said that, it was just kind of the catalyst of
yeah,
actually doing it. So I guess we'll thank him for. Sometimes it just takes that catalyst to actually do something.
yeah. Is this going to be your honeymoon too? Kind of
Yeah,
since you're like
yeah,
Daniel's getting married in October, so what October 11th,
yeah.
and so y'all just doing it kind of like
Free.
free. You're
Yeah,
doing your honeymoon and then get married.
yeah. I think we might do something
Hey, that's fine. You
Uh,
could have a honeymoon then if you don't get married. You've already had the fun. No,
there you go. I think we're gonna do like a 2 or 3 night thing at a later date, but this is like
the main,
the mainstay, so
yeah.
it's gonna be fun.
I did a, my honeymoon was, oh my God. My honeymoon was Owensboro, Kentucky.
There you go.
I got married without a job though. Jane was kind to
I
marry
mean, yeah, you I have
me.
almost 11 years on you, so
Yeah, yeah.
it's
I
not
was
exactly the same
the
situation.
same situation. Yeah. Jane married me on faith, you know.
I'm a
Uh,
third of my life deeper. You think
uh,
about it like that.
God, that's true, isn't it? Yeah. Lordy, Lordy. So, anyways, I appreciate that. My buddy Brad Nelson with his insurance guy here that we use texted me about a question that I sent him. So that's what all that yapping in the background's all about there. He's checking on something for us and said he just got back from vacation. It's my vacation season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. I think people,
Kyle's in South Carolina golfing
yeah,
today.
that's pretty
And
interesting. I think those kind of things to me are sometimes more, not necessarily more fun, but just more like exciting sometimes, because it's
yeah,
like you don't plan on doing it. It's quick. You're just like going by the seat of your pants. You're figuring things out as you go.
yeah.
Then you're back. It's like, oh no, that was nice. But
That was cool. That was
and you don't
cool.
get completely out of a routine. That's the cool thing about a short thing.
Yeah, you don't have time to think about it. You just
Yeah.
go do it and
And
you're
you're
back.
back. Yeah. When I come back, it's gonna be torturous.
It's going to take you a minute to.
I'm gonna have
I,
to reacclimate to sleep cycles and food
I
cycles.
know Daniel's been practicing on sleep cycles and
Yeah.
everything else,
I got up at 3:30 this morning, so
trying to get his body acclimated to what's it, 6 hours
6
difference?
hours. Yeah. Took about an hour nap last night at 6, and then woke up on the couch at about 7:30, somewhere around there, and then went back to sleep at about 8. So
I got you. Good deal. Well, I'm sure it's going to be a great trip for y'all. There ain't no doubt about that. Did you get your phone thing to where you got some
Uh,
service?
actually, no. I have to call 611 and see what our international thing is first, and then I'm gonna base it off of that. Because we when we went in to ask, they said they couldn't say because our plan is old and
I
they
know,
don't have
like, but
access to the Sprint documents and stuff. So
that's funny, man.
yeah,
Our plan that we've had so long, but every time we go in, they're like, "Do not get off this." So I will say that T-Mobile has carried that over for us from Sprint and not tried to jack us around on it.
yeah.
So, but they've told us that several times. Don't get off that plan.
I can imagine in the early 2000s or whatever it was that you got on it. I mean, they probably didn't they probably had an inkling of where it was going, but they probably had no idea how much data usage people would be using every single day on their phone for streaming and
Yeah,
all the thing. Like 15 years ago or whatever it was, 20 years ago, like the biggest thing maybe you were doing was Facebook with, if any, video on there. Pictures were the biggest thing. Like sometimes loading a picture back in the day took a couple of seconds. Right now it's like you're watching Netflix on there, you got the betting apps going, you got all these kind of things going on there that take so much usage.
yeah,
So
that is a lot. So, and I think from a business perspective, it's cool that they're honoring that, though.
yeah,
I mean, because most people they're not as loyal as we are, so
right.
they hop from plan to plan to plan.
Yeah, they probably one of the few on that.
Yeah, I'm sending this guy a text that Brad asking about a text I'd sent about some invoicing on our work comp. So I'm just telling you, the pictures I took from an invoice. But anyways, so y'all leave what Friday?
Yep. It's going to be a total of 14, little less than 14 hours, assuming everything goes all right,
It'll go.
of travel, which is crazy if you think about it. We're going to be in across the ocean and in another country and all that kind of stuff in the same amount of time about it takes to get to Siesta Key.
Yeah. 912 miles away. Yeah. You're
versus
going to be,
4,500.
yeah, in the same amount of time. Oh my God. That is crazy when you think about it like that, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Phew. Mm-mm-mm. Well, Doug is back on with us, Daniel.
Nice.
Yeah, he said he had a little problem getting on the app. And let
Yeah.
me know, guys, if y'all have had any problem getting on the app because have had a couple people say that. So it might be something certainly that we need to look into and see what's going on our end
I know
on
what I
that.
do is if it's taking a long time to load, which now I know I just do it anyway. But for you, if it's taking a long time to load, close it out, close the app out completely, and then get back in it. And as soon as you do, you can click on like the middle where the like play button is, and you can hit it twice, I think is what I do. And it'll almost like restart kind of like the loading process of it.
Oh,
And it comes on pretty quick in a few seconds after that. So that's kind of a hack if you can, you want to try
yeah.
that.
So the hack is,
Open the app up, and as soon as you do, double click on like the where the play button would be, like in the middle of the Turfs Up Radio
yeah,
square. Double click on that and it'll like change it from like play to pause and back again or whatever. And then you should, at least for me, it works almost every single time.
good deal. Seth said he's had problems with the app too. So certainly have had to close it out several times. So we'll see what's going on with that. We got a little meeting one day this week, so I'll bring that up for sure for all you guys. It is a pain in the butt when you're trying to do something and it becomes a project. Bless you, Katie, to try to get it done. So Doug said he just went to the website, so
That can work too.
that'll work too. Option number two. So, but anyways, what are you guys into today? Well, y'all done yet? We're trying to do a little bit of mowing today. Actually, we're doing quite a bit of mowing today. We got a little bit of mulch going on today. Little couple lawn apps today. Speaking of lawn apps, Jeopardy, our applicator, she is at the hospital on baby watch. Katie gave me a note. So, oh, not at the hospital yet? Yeah. So, yeah, she's in the contraction mode. So, you go, girl. It was funny last Friday when she left. She said, "I'm really going to try to work next week." And this would be like week 38, I think, for her. And but when she went to the doctor, she's on weekly visits to the doctor now. She don't mind me sharing this because she told me. It's the only reason I'm talking about it. Uh, she said that the baby had already inverted, so I think it had plans of coming on.
Yeah.
You know,
It wasn't
so
waiting for the when you go down like a water slide at the theme park and the guy's like, don't go yet.
don't
This
go
baby
yet.
is not listening to that
Yeah,
guy.
the baby's not listening to you're not 40 weeks yet. It's like, it's all right. I'm thinking about coming. So here we go. Woo, down the chute you go. So this will be Jeopardy's second. It's going to be her second daughter. So congratulations on that, Jeopardy, as well. So, um, Aaron had a little bit of bad luck over the weekend. Our world famous purple walrus, if you haven't heard, somebody run into the back of his hot dog cart. Oh, Katie didn't know that yet. That's right. You didn't know you weren't here early. Um, yeah, somebody ran into his golf cart,
Golf cart.
his hot dog cart when he was leaving. Uh, Said he had a good weekend though.
Yeah.
So, but he's so I guess he's reaching out to Brad as well
Yeah.
on the insurance. He didn't know if the lady had insurance or not.
He was nicer than I would have been about it. I'll
Yeah,
tell you that. I would have been irate.
yeah,
I mean,
he probably
paying
was.
attention. You're driving a vehicle.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he said, what he said, it was something like, asked her if she had been drinking and if she had, just leave. I was like, I wouldn't have done that.
No, I'd have
Nah,
tied her down.
yeah, I'd have. Look, we have three options here. It's either insurance, a little bit of, give me something from your house that, is worth something, or we can get medieval.
Get medieval. My goodness. Oh my.
Oh, I'm sorry. 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 That doesn't do anything.
People say, yeah, when they really tear something up.
Sorry that you weren't paying attention because that's not the first time you haven't been paying attention.
Right. Yeah. You're only sorry that something happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is true. That's the reality of that. So, yeah, good luck with him getting his hot dog cart going and that whole thing, and because that could be problematic for him for a while. And
Yeah.
you know what I was thinking too. Unfortunately, he's coming up in the best time of the year, or one of the best times of the year.
Yeah.
You know, with all the festivals and everything. You know, fall
Yeah.
festivals.
Yeah.
So
I mean, gosh, you got to think there's got to be something to keep the momentum going. I don't know what that looks like, but I mean, he has all his permits and stuff, I guess, so he can still do something. I don't know what that looks like, Aaron, but I would be getting creative, keeping your name out there, making sure people don't think that you're gone and all that kind of stuff.
yeah, because that could be problematic. Doug said, "You go, Daniel, on the medieval." True
People
that.
just don't care.
They just,
They
yeah,
don't.
the sorry, I'm sorry. I used to hate that when y'all said that. You know, sorry.
Well, we would say
I
it,
still got my
or
sorry pencil.
specifically Katie and Holly would say it
Katie and
400
Holly were the
things.
worst.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Yes, Katie's got me a pen. I got my desk set. I'm sorry for saying sorry. You know, and Holly or one of Katie did too. I think it's Katie made the rock that said sorry on it. You know, well, down at the lake, they had these activities for kids where they painted rocks, and she brought one back that said sorry. Oh my goodness. Where's that thing at? It's probably in here or maybe up there. I know I didn't throw it away.
Imagine this situation. Him or his daughter, I think his daughter was with him, gets out of I mean, maybe you shouldn't be doing this specifically, but got out of the truck to make sure something with the cart was okay, and they're back there and get squished in.
And
I
yeah,
mean,
I mean, yeah.
how far does sorry go then? Like,
So
people are just don't pay attention to anything when they're driving. It's crazy.
yeah, true that. Should we answer the phone? It's Gary Mudd calling.
Guess we could.
I don't, I'm not going to do that to him. That'd be fun though. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's funny. Mike said his wife gets on him for saying that. He said, or apologizing, not saying sorry specifically. So that's true. Yeah, Doug, that's, I was thinking that. I wasn't going to say it yet. But yeah, I think Doug's got a good point, you know. And I don't know if that's Aaron's path or not, but you know, he said, you know, I think suing them for lost income sounds good. But
Yeah.
I mean, potentially it's a reality. It is what it is. So we'll see how that happens.
I just can't wait for the self-driving car era to be here. I'm just excited as anyone can be.
Yeah, I hear you. That is pretty cool, though, isn't it?
I think it will be amazing.
Um, Darren Gruner's listening to us this morning. So, yay, Darren Gruner's listening. Uh, and let's see, Darren says an old client is threatening to sue him because her lights are on during the day now after a power outage.
I guess the photoreceptor cell or whatever got zapped and doesn't work, or I don't know what
Oh,
that
on the
was.
landscape lighting. Daniel, you go, boy. That's it. Yeah, that's it. That is it. I bet that is it. So, Darren, I might be able to hop on, buddy. I'll see what I got. Kyle's out of town golfing today, so he's down in South Carolina playing at some course that
Yeah, one of those exclusive
one of those
courses.
yeah, those really nice courses. Lee Handel, a friend of his, knows the
Guy that built it or
built it, yeah, or
whatever,
something.
designed it. It's
Yeah,
his course. Yeah, it's
it's
the guy's
his
course.
course, so they got to go down there and play. So they went down there. They drove down yesterday, gonna play today, and Kyle's flying back tomorrow. So told him, yeah, I'll go, man. It's a once in a lifetime thing, man, to play a place like that, probably.
Yeah,
You know?
especially for Nice rate they're getting.
The rate, yeah, the rate, the rate, or lack of rate to play
Yeah.
is taking care of the trip. So, yeah. So, oh Lord. Aaron Wall says Daniel's listened to all of his episodes, LOL, because normally he is blowing up. So, true that. True that for sure. But hey, let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Excuse me, with more profit time here on Turfs Up Radio, your industry, your station. You guys get your thinking caps on for me. It's almost going to turn into really good beach weather, where you're not sitting out there and it be 196 degrees, and
Yeah. Good time to go down there and maybe find a racquetball court
uh,
or a
pickleball,
pickleball court.
pickleball. You know what? Yesterday I took the Mustang out for a little ride and just riding around by myself a little bit. Tabitha had went up to see her grandkids, and I actually stopped and talked to some people uh, that were playing pickleball. There was like a group of them waiting to play
Yeah.
on a court over George Rogers Park. And that doesn't mean anything to any of y'all listening to this. Well, maybe a few of you local guys, but anyways, and because they had used to have two tennis courts there, and they converted one to pickleball.
Hmm.
And I just stopped in there and then just was walking up there talking to them, and it's people about my age, and they said they've been playing about a year or so and really enjoyed it. Man, I liked it when we went. You talk about a business model. My God, some of these indoor pickleball courts have got to figure it out.
Yeah.
And nothing wrong with it. I'm gonna figure it out with them. This fall and winter because it was really fun when we played. We played once, right, or
I think
twice.
once.
Once
Yeah.
we all, yeah, and I certainly would enjoy it. So Sherry got me a racket, so I got to play. She got me and
Nice.
Tabitha a racket. So
There you go.
better get ready. Do a little pickleballing. Speaking of pickleballing, it's been about a year, a little over a year. I was thinking of that this morning when I got up. I was like, damn, a year ago today, I was 2 days in. So getting ready to go through all the therapy and all that with my hip. So, anyways, hey, I do want to give a shout out to Turfs Up Nation about something here. We had a local contractor here. I didn't know the young man very well, um, but I know him, and he's a great young man. I'd say he's probably late 20s, mid 20s.
Yeah.
Was on a motorcycle Friday night, and a truck pulled out in front of him and his wife, and uh, she got thrown down the road and actually killed. And Mason is in pretty bad shape. So, any of you guys that believe in the power of prayer, their family can certainly use your prayers right now. Like I said, they had been married a couple years, from what I understand, and like I said, just a super nice guy, man, doing the right thing, trying to do his business the right way. I do know that about him, and I mean that's the last thing on his mind right now. I'm sure, or would be, should be, and probably is. I'm sure, but yeah, just some prayers his way, man, would be certainly appreciated. Again, his name's Mason Carpenter, and super nice guy. Represents our industry well, but most importantly, he's going to need a little divine intervention on getting better himself, and then the thought of his wife getting killed in that same accident, and then if that's not bad enough, the person that pulled out in front of him took off. So there you go. That's what we live with these days, man. People that just don't give a crap about other people and what you do and how you do it. So, a little bit of help his way, little prayer his way would certainly be appreciated. Go a long way. So, just wanted to share that with you all because the power of prayer is a big thing. So, let's hope that he gets through this situation as best he can. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be fast, and be difficult for him. So, but I did want to bring that up because I know you guys will do it. So, Daniel, one thing I wanted to talk about today on a serious note, and that's very serious. But we're going to move along from that. Is Katie was funny. We had a person call today 3 times, and the first 2 times Katie answered, they weren't there, and the third time she says, "Will you answer it this time?" So I answered it, and it happened to be a lady that we had done some work for in the past, several years ago, that remembered us. And when I say she remembered us, here's the good thing: we got her email, so I'm sure we've been sending. She's been being reached out some, but she said, "Yeah, it was several years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. A little bit of an older lady, maybe longer." She said, wasn't sure, but y'all came over here and did some really good work for me. I went really good work. Here you go. You talk about job size not mattering, right? I mean, it's a very small, because I've after talking to her, I remembered what we did, and it was a very small front yard. Did a little bit of landscape work for her, literally a little, a few plants, some mulch, and put a few stepping stones in, and now she wants to put a paver patio in. So that's where it goes back to solicitation of, reaching out to your customers. We talk about it a lot here, but a lot of times we forget about the people that we've worked for already. We get hung up on spending a lot of time and effort looking for new work or waiting on somebody to call us, and when we're not reaching out. So there's another good example of how it can work. If you give the system an opportunity. So I did want to bring that up as well. Um, Something I got a question on, and for you guys, that are mowing, um, and I know a lot of you guys mow some anyway, but for you guys that are mowing, true that, Mike. Mike said that's why he loves minimum jobs. You're in and out, make some money, and uh, do something again for him sometime. Uh, Talking about minimum jobs, Katie, I told y'all she put an offer in on a house, and so she's under contract on a house now. Um, she's talking, and we had done some landscaping on her back patio there. She wants to dig up her hydrangeas and butterfly bushes and take with her. So I told her, I said, well, no harm, no foul. I mean, the apartments where she's at, they don't know they're there. So, and they haven't treated her the best over there. And they've been there, been loyal to that. How long y'all been there, Katie? 10 years? Yeah, they've been there about 10 years. So, yeah, certainly we'll take them out. So, oh, Lordy. Mike said that's why he loves us. Minimum jobs. If they don't buy something bigger, somebody they know will. So just, yeah, don't let the size of the job necessarily deter you. Now, some companies don't work with bigger project or smaller projects, and that's okay if that's their niche too. But if you do, don't just think, oh man, they only spent $1,000, or whatever. We're not going to waste any more time with them, but because that stuff does come back around. But something I saw on social media for you guys mowing, and I'm just curious of what your all's take is on this. And I've got it here. I printed it off. Daniel, I'm sure, is laughing at me for printing it off, but this guy said, I've got a funny question. Me and a new guy got us an argument going. Not a true argument, sounds just like a debate, talking. I like to do 2 passes because I go over it fast, and then he's got some other things. I just think it always looks cleaner when you go over it twice. How many of you guys cut all your properties twice all the time like I do? And then he had several comments on it. And the first comment made the most sense to me. It said, seems like double passes are a waste of fuel and time on a lot of my sites. I can run single pass for everything unless it's overgrown. So And what's your all's opinion on that? Do y'all double cut everything? Anybody? Just curious. It ain't wrong or right. I'm not trying to set you up for failure. But this guy makes a very valid point. And past this top comment, Daniel, just so you know, there were a few more comments like this first one, but a lot of guys did say, yeah, I double cut most of my properties. I got to believe that most of these guys aren't calculating double cuts into their cost. They're just doing it because it looks good. You know, what do you think? What's your opinion on that as we wait to get a few?
Sounds like, just think off the top of what you said, it just sounds like you said, there's this particular guy's thinking more about how it looks, which is important compared to, though, the cost of it. That's
Yeah,
definitely a slippery slope to go down.
because it does. I mean, you figure, I mean, if you normally can mow, let's just say a residential lawn, it's going to depend for everybody, but let's just say it's 15 minutes, but it takes you 25 minutes double cutting it. So you got 10 minutes times, let's just say you're on a 30 cycle season. That's 300 minutes a year extra you're spending on that customer. So what's 4 times 6 is 2. That's 5 hours. So whatever your hourly rate is, that's 5 hours additional time that if you're billing for it, that's fine. It's kind of
Yeah.
like angle cuts. Same thing I talk about in my seminars for mowing contractors is angle cuts. Yeah, it looks great to cut on an angle and change the pattern, and nothing wrong with all that. Agronomy says, hey, it can be a great idea. The customers like it. It's changing the pattern up. But have you thought about the time it takes to double cut everything? And another thing to throw in the pot is not double cutting the whole property, but special angle cuts. When you look at how many additional turns it takes to do a angle cut versus a longest straightest strip possibles cut. So again, and maybe it's half of your services are on an angle and half are on a straight cut. Average the time out, and that should be your priced uh, per service. Now, Mike said he only double cuts if he has to. If it needs it, they'll certainly do it. And that's where if you're, that's the way we are with it too. If it needs a double cut, we do double cut it. If we know going into a property new and it's higher and we're going to have to double cut it or triple cut it, whatever we got to do to get it looking right, then we'll do it. But I was just curious if anybody just arbitrarily did it. And this guy actually put out one of those little survey things you can do on a post. And when I looked at it, it was even on who double cuts everything and who does one cut. So just curious. So, and again, I don't have a problem with anybody that's doing it as long as you're charging for it. You know, that's the key factor. That's the only thing I wanted to get across in this post. And I didn't want to comment on, I didn't comment on this particular post because a lot of these guys in here are young solo operators that think they know everything. And they were getting some good advice from guys, and I just left it alone. But I just was curious how many of you guys might do it. Um, Fred says they double cut almost every tall fescue yard that's on a lawn care program and has irrigation. It has to be accounted for, though. Now, see, that's the right answer.
Yeah.
You know, absolutely. And, we've got some properties like that as well. And I think everybody listening to us here on Turf's Up Radio's probably got properties like that, they're irrigated companies, are lawns, and they've got, they're on a fertility program. The yards are in good shape. The lawns are in good shape. And they do need to be double cut to make them look right. And that's where we talk about it all the time, Daniel, but it's you give a cost per service based on frequency. And this is the same exact thing. You can't just say it's going to be $60 a week to mow your lawn, but hey, I'm counting on doing it one time, or I'm counting on double cutting it, or you know, it, or hey, it's weekly, or hey, we're going to go weekly, and then it's every 10 days. But when we go every 10 days, then it's going to have to be double cut. So that's where it goes back to the frequency dictates the cost, and frequency and number of mowings per year. If I'm double cutting it, I don't have to double everything up, but I certainly got to double my labor cost up, and my fuel and my maintenance and hours of use on that equipment are going to be doubled up on the job, you know. So just something to think about. I thought that was pretty interesting, and I was really glad to see a lot of input on that come back as well. Are you charging for it? Because that really, I mean, that really is the answer. It's not necessarily who's doing it, who's not doing it. It's who's charging for it and who's not charging for it, because that could be a profit killer immediately uh, on a job site if you're not accounting for it, as Fred said, and a few of these guys on this post said. So I think it's very important that we all think in those lines of, we're billing time. That's what we're billing. We're leasing companies is what it amounts to. We lease people, labor, and equipment, and that's what they buy from us. You know, Doug said sharp blades, clean decks. Only double cut when it's necessary, or when it's really thick. So that's just it. And some of the best practices, your best management practices, can be keeping your decks cleaned out and keeping your blades sharp. And again, that's something simple that a lot of people don't think about as often as they should. Especially smaller operators that don't have, blade sharpeners in their shop or in their garage. So keep the blade sharp, to Doug's point. Keep the blade sharp, keep your decks cleaned out. And again, if you want to double cut, but make sure that you're charging for the service. And that's where a lot of times things can go a little bit sideways. So with that being said, let's take a short break. We'll be right back with more Profit Time here on Turf's Up Radio, your industry, your station. Welcome back to Profit Time here on Turf's Up Radio. Yes, indeedy. Expo will be here before we know it. Heck yeah. Yep. Uh, just think, Daniel, you'll be married when it rolls around.
Yeah.
Holy Nikes. Corey just sent us a text. He said he just had a customer reach out to him and said they found him through AI. That's
Nice.
a first. Ta-da.
There you go.
There you go.
SEO and all that stuff is important.
There you go. It's
Facebook and all the things.
AI is definitely going to be the wave of the future. I mean, for a while anyway. I don't know how long it'll last or if it's going to take over. It's a little bit scary if you think about it. Just the dumb things you see with AI. That's what I say scary.
Yeah.
But like anything, it's going to take a minute to get it figured out and working on it and doing it and using it. But yeah, Corey, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool to say the least. See, Seth said, I just wanted to share this. He said, I'm doing some maintenance, and he sent me a picture. He said, I'm doing some maintenance on our city square. Had a business owner tell me she's been there 6 years and her corner has never looked better. There you go. That makes you feel good. And it does look nice. Seth, good job. Absolutely. Looks really good. He said it restored his faith in humanity. Oh my goodness, that is true, man. But no, that does look nice, and it's nice. We hear the bad things. It is nice to hear the good things every once in a while too. And speaking of the good things, aeration and seeding season is rocking and rolling in a lot of parts of the country. Um, we're going to, unfortunately, we're going to be dry the next 7 to 10 days. So it puts a little additional work on us reaching out to our customers that don't have irrigation, getting them to water prior to our service being provided. And, timing out service can be really, really important. Actually, Craig put a question in the profit circle. Craig, if when you're listening to this on podcast, my friend, um, we'll have an answer out there for you pretty quickly on that. But, that's the reality of it. It's a very short term window for aeration and seeding. So not everybody's going to be hit at the exact perfect time or best time based on, whatever the parameters are that you use within your company, whether it's temperature, moisture content, whatever it is, the smaller you are, the easier that target is to achieve. I mean, we still are not going to waste our customers' money. I don't want y'all hearing that by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not suggesting that at all. But, it's like anything. I mean, people are timed perfectly. Let's look at lawn applications. Some people get the pre emergent in the best possible window as possible. And some people get it early, some people get it late, but at the end of the day, uh, as long as you're doing something that's right for the customer, that's just the way it goes. I mean, there is best timing on anything and everything we do in our businesses and in our lives, you know. But it's kind of like taking vacation in Florida in August. It's hot as heck, but you know, sometimes that's when you got to go. But it's nicer in the fall. It's nicer in the spring. You know, but really nice in the winter. So, it just depends on what you're doing volume wise and how you got to do it is who's going to get best placement, best timing. But, and I say that, it is dry. We know it's dry, but we get our customers to water, the ones that don't have irrigation. We can come in, we do a great job for them from the seeding standpoint or the aeration standpoint or both, depending on what they're getting done. And, we'll move along with it. You know, it does seem that this year, well, and I may have touched on this Friday a little bit, but we're ahead for sure from where we were at last year at the end. So, I mean, we've still got another month of phone calls to go for sure on adding work. But yeah, we're about 12, I think it's 12 and a half, 13%, somewhere in that ballpark. From last year already on our aeration and seeding. And it's actually this year more seeding work, where last year it was more aeration work. So, but that has to do something with those nearly 40 days of 90-degree weather we had. Even though we had a lot of moisture with it, it was still a lot of stress environment for turf grass. So, um, it pushed a lot of undesirable species of weeds and grasses and things in the lawns that became problematic for a lot of people that wanted to see something different. So, but yeah, we're hitting those full tilt starting tomorrow, and we've done a few. Did some Friday and did a little bit earlier than that on people that wanted to get it done for one reason or another. But we're going to go all in tomorrow and probably be running uh, daily with it. Weather permitting. You know, until we get through it. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to that. So hopefully you guys are doing a little bit of aeration and seeding. If not, certainly it's something you can still consider. It's not too late. Not too late. Matter of fact, we just had a guy call in today. Um, and curious what y'all would tell him because we were on the brinks of saying, actually, hey, you're a little late for that, but he's wanting a total renovation. Um, and he did say we have not seen the property yet, but he did say that he's got some Bermuda in there. And Katie talked to him about that. That his best thing to do would probably be to get that sprayed prior to, seeding, but she would send him a proposal and present it both ways if he wanted to, because it's not a whole lot in his yard, but it was. I wish I'd have recorded the conversation because she really did a great job with it, and she really does a good job with all of them. But that was really a good job because that is its own bear, and we were kind of on the, or she was. I didn't talk to him. She was on the cusp of, hey, are we too late to try to get in two full applications of kill out time and then a spot spray and still have time to seed it and basically do what's right by the customer, just what we were talking about. And so uh, she decided yes and asked me about it, and I decided yes, and uh, because I decided yes based on what Bam's telling us, that hey, yeah, we're gonna heat back up here. We're gonna have an extended period of hotter weather, so that's going to keep our soil temperatures up, and which will be good in this situation. And of not only the herbicide intake, but also keep the soil temperature up to where if it's 1st of October, we're still going to be okay to seed it. So, um, if it's then before we can get to it to seed it. So, always do what's right for your customers. My point, and but we are going to give him the option. Katie says she's just going to do some of that proposal as recommended, and some of it as an option. For him, and then we'll be happy to answer any questions that he's got. So, but yeah, we're looking forward to a really good aeration and overseeding year this year, and appreciate Stephen West and Sigma Organics for getting our products to us that we need. Matter of fact, I think I heard a little delivery come in while I was on here.
Might have been, yeah.
Was it? So, where they delivered some new lawn starter for us, and um, yeah, so always appreciate that service. Always appreciate that service. And hey, we got a lot of things we didn't get to today, but we'll certainly get to them on Wednesday. Daniel, thanks for hopping on with
Yeah.
me as always. And I always want to get your input on some additional things that we didn't get to. So Wednesday would be your last day for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Thursday.
Well, I mean, you'll be here Thursday, but for
Yeah.
my show,
Yeah.
and
For
everybody
sure.
likes your content on my show. You're the balance, so we're gonna miss you. You're gonna have to show me how to upload these upload my episodes
Oh
too.
well. Y'all did a
So
good job last time of doing all that stuff. So
so I'll say we'll do a great job. Katie will help me.
yeah.
Katie's got it. She doesn't need Prevagen yet.
There you go.
There you go. But anyways, hey, stay tuned here for the world famous King Darren, who's going to be up here in just a couple minutes, and probably going to hop on with him for a little bit. But for now, we're going to sign it off. Appreciate y'all's time. Appreciate all your input. And as always, you guys make the show as great as it is. And without you all, Turfs Up Radio or my show Profit Time, it's not anything at all. So keep listening, keep sharing, share Turfs Up Radio with everybody you know. And if you got any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. So reach out. You guys be safe, and remember a couple prayers maybe for Mason Carpenter and his family and that accident that they had. So with that being said, you guys be safe. And remember, profit is not a dirty word. We'll see you Wednesday.